Hey, this is Matt Leshner. So part three of borderline personality. I want to talk now about like how people actually experience borderline personality. Like, what is it like to be a person who has borderline personality? Um, One of the things is that you'll notice internally you're having like a lot of sort of self-doubt thoughts, a lot of maybe self-hatred even, and a lot of really like kind of paranoia, like wondering what are other people thinking of me. Folks with borderline personality in general are very externally motivated, not internally motivated. That means that they kind of rely on the energy that they get from others or the reaction they get from others to figure out kind of their place within a situation or within society. And what they experience also is like a lot of shifts in emotions and like really rapid shifts. A lot of times folks will come to me and they'll say, I think I have bipolar disorder. And I'll say, tell me why. And they'll say, I get these manic episodes. And I ask, of course, the first thing, how long do they last? And they say 20 minutes. They say an hour. They say a day, 8 hours, whatever. I will tell you this. If somebody is manic for less than 3 days, it's not fucking bipolar disorder. Your brain just cannot clear the amount of dopamine and norepinephrine that are inherent in a manic episode that rapidly. It cannot clear that out in 20 minutes or even 8 hours. So if you are having what appears to be mania for periods that are much shorter than conventional bipolar disorder, that's not rapid cycling, that is probably a personality disorder. How else do they experience it? Highs and lows. Borderline folks experience some very intense euphoric experiences at times when they are like meeting somebody, really vibing with somebody, really getting along with somebody. But they also experience some very, very, very deep lows. And I mentioned in the last video that suicidality or like recurrent suicidal behavior is a very big part of borderline personality. It's not always like a miserable existence. People do get better. In fact, one thing you will notice if you research borderline personality, it's not a ton of old borderline personality folks. And the reason is not because they die young. I mean, some die young, of course. But the real issue is that most people kind of mature out of it. It just it's part of your growth, and you just as you adapted to your environment to get to begin borderline personality, you can also readapt to a different environment for it to go away.